Good evening, basketball fans. Welcome to Mississinewa High School for tonight's boys basketball action between the visiting Huntington North Vikings and your Mississinewa Indians. Good evening, folks. Welcome to Gas City for tonight's boys basketball action between the Huntington North Vikings and the Mississinewa Indians. Dalton Bishop alongside Ryan Scott, bringing you the first time ever in 2017-2018 season Mississinewa boys basketball action live from Mississinewa High School. Ryan, our first chance to see what this boys basketball team has in store for this season.
Yeah, Coach Everett has been working hard, in and off season, improving the team's game and improving the team's attitude overall.
Yeah, Coach Everett's coming in his fourth year at Mississinewa, 37-36. His sixth year overall coaching. In all 6 years, he's got a losing record. You got to remember his time at Medora, which was a 1A school. He went 2-19 and 8-13. His first year at Mississinewa, he was 6-17, and over the past 2 years, he's had winning records at 14-11 and then 16-7. So Mississinewa comes in off of a win against Manchester. The JV team won, and then the varsity team won as well. We'll talk more about the varsity coming up in our varsity pregame, but tonight the Indians have Huntington North, and Huntington North played Homestead back on Wednesday and defeated Homestead 69-46 in a varsity contest. Not sure about their JV team, but I'm assuming if their varsity won by big, then I'm assuming the JV probably at least won the game. Maybe not by big, but I'm sure they probably at least won the game. So it's Mississinewa, Huntington North here tonight. Looking at the height of the junior varsity team for the Vikings, their tallest player is 6'1", Mason Satterwaite. He's a sophomore, 6'1". Mississinewa, on the other hand, we don't have any heights for them on our sheet, but I'm gonna guess the Mississinewa that their tallest junior varsity player is Tay McClung or Peyton Enzor. Jashawn McClung's listed on their junior varsity roster. I think he is strictly varsity. I think that was just because of the success that the Indians had in the football season. The football players had some tryouts. It was late. They had late tryouts. They are eligible to play, but I think it was just we're going to throw him on the JV roster because we're not quite sure quite yet, but we got to get our rosters turned in. And maybe McClung is in the junior varsity because I see him now. He must have been over on the far side. Ryan, what are some of the things that you're looking for out of the Indians here tonight?
Yeah, the beginning of the first quarter, a few games ago when they played Manchester, Coach said, they got early foul trouble in the first quarter. That's what they need to improve on, is not getting in so much foul trouble in the first quarter and play the game they did last year and not getting in foul trouble.
This junior varsity roster for Mississinewa is very stacked this season. Some of the names that you look at: Tyler Sizemore's a junior, Seth Maddox a junior, Brennan Gokenauer a junior, Peyton Enzor and Jashawn McClung also juniors. You've got 5 or 6 juniors on the junior varsity roster who have had the junior varsity experience for the past 3 years, and so they're very tough. Some of the freshmen that I really look at and key in on, Landon Swanner and Tay McClung, those two there are freshmen that are now playing on the junior varsity team and instead of the freshman team just because of how talented they are. Again, we are live here from Mississinewa High School for boys basketball action between the Huntington North Vikings and the Mississinewa Indians. The girls basketball team, while we've got a moment, has been off and has not played in quite some time. They will pick back up with their season this upcoming Monday as they travel to Belmont, and then on Tuesday they travel to Southern Wells. We were originally scheduled to bring you the Southern Wells Mississinewa girls basketball game, but unfortunately, because there is conflict between Mississinewa and Norwell, the Indians will be at home on Tuesday against Norwell in a triple header between freshmen, junior varsity and varsity. So we'll be here to bring you the home game on Tuesday of Norwell, Mississinewa. We can possibly try to do our best to get you the broadcast Monday as they take on Belmont. Not going to guarantee anything for that, but we're going to try and work something out to try to get up to Belmont on Monday. We've got about 8.5 minutes before we get this junior varsity contest underway. This is Mississinewa Indians basketball on the Tribe Sports Network. Welcome back to Mississinewa High School as the Mississinewa Indians continue with warming up along with Huntington North Junior Varsity Contest getting ready to get underway here in just a few minutes. We're about 4.5 minutes from kicking things off in Gas City with the Junior Varsity Contest. Again, Mississinewa comes in off of a win in the Junior Varsity Contest at Manchester back on Wednesday before Thanksgiving. I hope everyone had a wonderful Thanksgiving and you're ready to watch Indian basketball here tonight. Mississinewa is 1-0 on the year, along with Huntington North, who sits 1-0 on the year as well. excited to see what the Indians have against a very, very good Huntington North team here tonight. Huntington North also, like I said, 1-0. They're a very, very good basketball program. Junior varsity coach Brant Brown is a great coach, along with a great coaching staff. Craig Teagle, the head coach of the varsity team. Matt Hens and Ben Ryan are the assistant coaches, and then Brant Brown is the junior varsity coach. The freshman coach is Sam Ryan. So a good coaching staff on the Huntington North side. Mississinewa, their head coach is Andrew Everts. Like I said, he's in his 4th year here at Mississinewa High School. He's 37 and 36 in 4 years at the school. We'll be talking to him before the varsity pregame, and we'll let you hear that interview with him, like I said, in the varsity pregame. The junior varsity coach for the Mississinewa Indians is Connor Cunningham. The assistant coach, James Reed. The freshman coach is Brandon Swanner. And again, great coaches there for the Indians. If you look at I want to give a shout out to the cheerleaders. Their coaches are Ariel Castanon and Alexis Nimitz, rather. We'll go ahead and read you off the cheerleaders here in just a second. Once I see if we can find where the cheerleaders are. I'm looking for my list of cheerleaders here, and now I've got it. So the junior varsity cheerleaders, Rainey Nicholson, Carolyn Moon, Avery Marin, Morgan King, Dora Ortega, Brielle Remiga, and Madison Alaya. The varsity cheerleaders is Alexis Tignor, Juliana Smith, Peyton Martin, Michaela Donis, Felicia Cornejo, and Jacqueline Smith. 2 minutes away from tipping things off in Gas City, and we'll take a 2-minute timeout and come back. This is Mississinewa Indians basketball on the Tribe Sports Network. Welcome back to Mississinewa High School. Ready to get things underway here in the junior varsity contest. The lineups for Huntington North: Adam Zahn, a 5'10" junior guard. Mitchell Gerber is a 6-foot freshman forward. Aiden Hosler is a sophomore. He's 5'9" and a guard. Jordan Hollowell, 6-foot sophomore forward, and Jackson Curlis is a 6-foot junior. Tips it up and underway, and Huntington North controls the opening tip. With the basketball is Hosler. Gets it over to Zahn. Zahn inside. Shot up and off the glass and no good. Another shot up and no good, and there's a foul on Peyton Enzor. Going to the line for a free throw is Jackson Curlis. So Enzor picks up his first foul. Free throw is up by Curlis and good. 1-0 Huntington North leads in the junior varsity contest. Second free throw is up and no good, and rebound to Peyton Enzor. Here's Yoder in the corner to Sizemore. Sizemore back to Yoder and Landon Swanner at the top of the key. Dribbles to the right. Throws it in the corner to Sizemore. Sizemore back to Swanner. Swanner brings it back to the left and throws it inside to Tay McClung, who puts it off the glass and puts it in.
That's a nice play because he was open and he took advantage of the bucket.
Nice play by the Indians. And McClung's on the board. It's 2-1 Indians with a 1-point advantage. Indians in a 2-3 zone. Here's a three out of the corner by number 1 Adam Zahn, and he hit it. 4-2. McClung back to Swanner at the top of the key. Yoder in the corner to McClung. McClung back to Yoder. Now Sizemore eyes a three. This one no good. Long, and a rebound comes down to Huntington North. Here is Hosler at the top of the key, calling Yoder defending him. Swings it over. This is Hollowell. Hollowell. Now here's Hosler a three. This one's good. Aiden Hosler on the board. It's 7-2. Advantage, Huntington North. Here's Swanner over to McClung. Yoder over to McClung. McClung inside, tried to get it to Enzor, and he threw it away.
That's when you just have to go slow and get into the basket slowly. Don't have to rush anything.
Here's Hosler to the right. Brings it back out. Yoder all over him. Here's Zahn. And they're going to call a travel on Curlis, who walked. Took a couple of steps before putting the ball on the floor. And now Swanner going to bring the ball up for the JV Indians. Here's McClung in the corner. Throws it over to Yoder. Now to Swanner. Landon dribbles to the left. Swings it over to Tyler Sizemore. Sizemore goes inside and loses the ball, and it's a turnover. Shot up and good on a nice play by Jordan Hollowell. Here's Swanner. Swings it over to Sizemore inside Enzor. Back out to Sizemore. Now he goes back inside to Enzor. He goes around his defender, throws it in the corner to Yoder. Yoder fakes the pass and goes around his defender, and he's fouled. Foul's going to be on the floor. Fouls on Viking number 42, Jordan Hollowell, his first. Tay McClung, or Jashawn McClung into the lineup, replacing Tay McClung, which is his brother. Sizemore, inbounds, throws it out to Yoder, has a wide open three, and he eyes it, and this one is too strong and no good.
I like the effort by trusting himself to go back in the court and try to get that three.
Here's Hosler. Zahn defended by Yoder. Zahn goes up and puts it in, and he's got 5. Timeout, Mississinewa. I think it's going to be a full timeout. It's a 30-second timeout, Mississinewa. 11-2, a 9-point lead for the Vikings with 3:39 left in the first quarter. Back in 30 seconds, this is Indian basketball on the Tribe Sports Network. Welcome back to Mississinewa High School, where the JV Indians are facing a 9-point deficit. Here's Yoder. Over to Sizemore. Sizemore in the corner to Swanner, who eyes a 3. This 3 by Swanner is long and no good. (11-2). Pass inside is Hollowell. Out to Hosler. Hosler to the left. Now back to the right. Swings it over to Zahn. In the corner here is Hollowell. Hollowell out to Curlis. Curlis to Hosler. Now Zahn. Hollowell. Hosler eyes a 3. No good. Rebound, Peyton Enzor. Back the other way comes Swanner. Swanner goes inside, and now he's going to pull up for a 2-point shot. This one rolls around and no good. Hosler over to Zahn, and it's out through his hands and out of bounds. Turnover on Huntington North. A slow-moving first quarter here in the JV contest.
A slow-moving first quarter, and hopefully it picks up for the next 3.
Here's Swanner over to Enzor. Sizemore to Yoder. Yoder to Sizemore. Inside Enzor, turns around, puts a left-handed layup off the glass and puts it in. And now he is the second Indian to score, and the Indians have only 4 points here in the first quarter. It's 11-4. They're going to have a foul called. I think it's going to be on Swanner. Fouls on Indian number 22, Landon Swanner. Here's Zahn. Over to in the corner. Here's a new substitution. This is Cameron Faust to Hosler. Hosler gets it inside, and now pass outside to Thompson and across the court. Zahn in the corner, eyes a 3. This 3 is good. Adam Zahn, he's 2 for 2 from downtown, and it's a 10-point lead for the Vikings. Inside McClung, kicks it back out Swanner. Swanner swings it over to Sizemore. Inside McClung. McClung goes up with the contact, no call, and misses the shot.
Those are the shots you have to make. You know, when you're right at the bucket, you have to make those kind of shots.
Pass to Zahn, who's had the hot hand here in the first quarter. Swings it over to Faust. Faust inside Hollowell. Kicks it back out. Faust is going to eye a 3. This one is no good. Rebound by Swanner. Swanner running the court, gets it to Sizemore, who brings it back out, and then tries to get it over to Enzor. Now Swanner to McClung, and now he's fouled. Let's see who the foul is going to be on. Foul is on number, I think they said 11, but I don't see number 11. It was on number 31. Here's Swanner in the corner, eyes a three. This three by Swanner is good. So Swanner finally breaks his cold shooting slump, and the Indians only down by 7. Pass deflected by Swanner. I had to see him. I got the chance to see Swanner warming up in the pregame, and he was white hot. I think I counted 9 threes in a row before he finally missed one. 14-7, 7 seconds to play here in the first quarter. And Huntington North is going to go for the final shot. Here's Hosler, a three, and no good. And Swanner comes away with it to Yoder. And at the end of the first quarter, Huntington North 14, Mississinewa 7. Back in 2 minutes with the start of the second quarter. This is Mississinewa Indians basketball on the Tribe Sports Network. Welcome back to Mississinewa High School at the start of the second quarter. Indians with the basketball on Swanner at the top of the key. Swings it over to Gokenauer, who checked in for the first time. Now Enzor swings it in the corner to Evan Bellis. Bellis goes around his defender. It's off of, I thought it was off of Huntington North. And now it's Huntington North basketball. They said it was off Bellis. With the ball is Thompson. Throws it over to Faust. And it's Indian basketball on a turnover by Huntington North. Swanner swings it over to Gokenauer. Gokenauer to Enzor. Now Bellis. Over to Cade Campbell. Here's Swanner. Brings it back out. In the corner to Bellis. Inside Enzor. Turns around with a left-handed hook shot. No good. Fights for the rebound. And again, no good.
Again, those are the shots that you need to make.
Double dribble called on Sam Thompson. Here's Swanner controlling the point guard position, directing traffic at the top of the key. Swings it over to Campbell in the corner, Gokenauer. Gokenauer works, gets it over to Enzor. Enzor kicks it back out to Cade Campbell. Campbell goes around his defender, throws a nice pass inside to Enzor, and he is fouled. It's on the floor. Tay McClung checking into the lineup. He replaces Peyton Enzor. Here's Campbell. Goes around his defender, gets inside, kicks it out. Gokenauer, wide open three. This one long and off the top of the goal and out of bounds. 14-7. Indians trail by 7. Madison Grant boys basketball is at Wabash tonight. That is one of the teams in the county in action. Fought for. Bellis comes away with it. They said it was out of bounds. And it's Huntington North basketball. Swanner with a steal, throws it up the court to Bellis. Bellis goes up with a layup and puts it in. Nice pass from Swanner, gets it to Bellis, and he puts it in, and now the lead is down to 5.
Swanner did good, picked up his head, looked down floor, and got the easy 2-point basket.
Good vision by Swanner. And that's what you've got to do. You've got to connect. Shot up, no good, and a rebound comes down to Swanner. He's pushing it up the court. And now he spots up a three. Swanner's three is long and no good. And Drew Castanon set to check in. I'm sure he's probably going to replace Swanner. Thompson around his defender, and now Swanner takes it away. Throws it up to McClung. McClung inside to Bellis, who goes up, puts it in, and the lead is only 3. So Evan Bellis with 4 points here early in the second quarter. Swinging the ball over in the corner. This is Hollowell. Shot no good. Rebound, Tay McClung. And here's Swanner. Swanner to Bellis. Goes inside, puts it up, and it's a charge. Drew Castanon in. He replaces Swanner. Here is Thompson working. Gets it over to Hosler. Hosler, rather. I think, yeah, Hosler. And back the other way come the Indians with Drew Castanon. Castanon around his defender, brings it back out. Throws it to McClung, who goes inside, and he's fouled. Foul is on Huntington North, number 5, Sam Thompson. Here's McClung to Gokenauer, over to Bellis, in the corner, Castanon. Castanon back to Bellis. Bellis cross court pass to McClung. McClung goes inside, floats it over to Gokenauer. Gokenauer to Castanon, off the glass, and puts it in. The Indians are starting to work more as a team instead of trying to do things individually.
Yeah, working together to get those points, because right now they really still need the points.
It's 14-13. Here's Hosler, cross-court pass to Thompson. Inside, Hollowell loses control. Gokenauer comes away with it and now gets it to Bellis. Bellis almost loses control, gets it to Campbell. Now Castanon, top of the key, dribbles to his left, now to Bellis. Free throw line, kicks it out to McClung. McClung goes right, swings it out to Cade Campbell. Now Campbell thought about a jump shot, no good, and he swings it out in the corner to McClung, who drives inside, misses it. Bellis comes away with it and kicks it out to the corner to Gokenauer, and now the Indians bring it back out to set up the offense. Campbell, top of the key, goes inside, throws a nice pass over to Evan Bellis with the jumper, is long and no good. Timeout Huntington North. 2:02 left in the first half. Huntington North 14, Mississinewa 13. Back in 1 minute. This is Indian basketball on the Tribe Sports Network. Welcome back. Out of the timeout, Huntington North with the basketball. Here's Zahn over to Hostler, defended by McClung. Swings it over to Thompson. Thompson looks, gets it over to Zahn, who had a hot hand in the first quarter. Hollowell goes around his defender, and he's fouled on the floor, and I think it's going to be on Brendan Gokenauer. Nope, they're going to call it on Indian. Yeah, it is on Gokenauer. Team's first, or Gokenauer's first, team's fourth. Enzor back into the lineup along with Yoder and Swanner for the Indians. Inside, Hollowell goes up with a shot and misses it, and a rebound comes down to Colin Yoder. Here's Swanner. Indians looking to try to take their first lead of the game. Here's Yoder to McClung, back to Yoder. Yoder to Enzor, in the corner, McClung. McClung to Yoder. Yoder to Campbell. Campbell inside Enzor. Enzor turns around with a left-hand hook and puts it in. Indians with their first lead of the game, and it's coming at a good time, right before the half. Down to about a minute left in the opening half. Zahn goes inside and puts it in. Here's Swanner across the timeline at the top of the key. Picks up his dribble, gets it to Campbell. Now McClung's going to eye a three. This one no good. Campbell with the rebound. Out to Swanner, a wide open three. This one rattles in and no good. It's off of McClung and going to Huntington North. 47 seconds left and counting in the opening half. Don't forget, we got a varsity pregame coming up after the junior varsity contest. Cross-court pass, here's Faust. Defended by Swanner. Here's Hosler. Hosler. Looks. Zahn. Hosler. Hollowell flashes and defended by Campbell. Huntington North going to take the last shot of the half. Ball taken away by Campbell. Campbell's running the floor. Goes up, and he is fouled. Good defense by Cade Campbell.
That's the way to take that foul with 2.7 seconds left.
Smart play by Campbell. He saw the contact coming, waited for it, and then went up and drew the foul.
Right.
Free throw by Campbell is good. And the Indians have tied things up with 2.7 seconds left in the half. A free throw to come, and they could take their second lead of the game and probably go into halftime with the lead. Campbell's free throw is good, and they lead by 1.
That's your halftime. Indians lead by 1, 17-16. We will be back after halftime with more Indian action. This is Indians basketball on the Tribe Sports Network.
Welcome back to Mississinewa High School for tonight's second half of Indian basketball. Indians took the lead in at the half by 17-16. Here we go. With the ball is Huntington North. They start with the ball in the second half. Here is Zahn over to Hostler. Launches a three. This one no good. Sizemore comes down with a rebound and gets it off to Landon Swanner. Swanner over to Yoder, and Yoder is going to bring it back out to Swanner. Swanner to Yoder. Fakes the three, goes around his defender with a nice little jump shot, no good. It's off of McClung somehow. It goes to Huntington North. Tay McClung, man, that's gonna mess with me all season long. Tay McClung trying to figure out how it's Huntington North basketball. With the ball, here is, I can't see their numbers since he's turned backwards there. It was Hollowell. Now to Zahn. Zahn out to Hostler. Hostler pass to Hollowell, goes inside, throws up a right-hand floater, and he's fouled on the floor. And I think it's going to be on number 32, Tay McClung. Foul is on Indian number 10, Tyler Sizemore. His first, team's first of the half. And at the line for two shots is Jordan Hollowell. First free throw up, and first free throw is good. He's got three, and it's tied at 17. One more free throw to come. This one up, and this one is short. And a rebound to Enzor, and he gets it to Swanner. Yoder in the corner, Sizemore eyes a three. This one is no good. Rebound Enzor. Taken away, and now bringing it back out, and a cross-court pass to Swanner. Swanner eyes the three. This one long, no good. Back the other way comes Huntington North. First time this season the Indians get a play on their home court. And they're tied 17-17. Here's Zahn over to Hollowell. Kicks it back out to Zahn. Zahn, Hostler. Hostler to the right and crosses it back in between the legs to Zahn. Taken away, it's a kicked ball. Swanner almost had it. Inbound pass, here's Hostler defended by Yoder. Here's Zahn, inside pass, Hollowell. Or no, that was not Hollowell. That was Gerber, and he missed it. Here's Sizemore to Yoder. Now to Swanner. Inside, Enzor has it stripped away. And now coming away with it is McClung. Floats it up to Swanner. Swanner goes inside. Pass to Yoder. Floater up and good.
That was a great pass to get that easy two-point basket.
Swanner has great vision on the court to see Yoder coming baseline. It's Indian basketball. Colin Yoder to inbound. He gets it to Swanner. Swanner passes it to Sizemore. Sizemore to his right. Gets in the middle. Loses control. And now Yoder saves it. And now it's back to Swanner. Swanner to Sizemore. Fakes it. Now loses control. somehow, I mean, the Indians keep, every time they call it out of bounds on the Indians keep trying to figure out how it's out of bounds on them. They think it should be their basketball. And on that play there, I think there was 2 white jerseys, 2 black jerseys, and at that point, it's just a judgment call. Here's a 3 from Gerber, no good. I think it's over and back. It was tipped out by Huntington North. And it is. It's going to be Indian basketball. I thought so because Huntington North shot it, and then it was tipped out by Huntington North. And in that case, since it went to the back court, it is over and back.
Yeah, I think the official saw just the tip, and he figured, they just tipped it off, but it turned to be Indian basketball.
Here's Yoder. Passes to McClung. McClung to Gokenauer. Spots up for a 3, left it short.
I tell you, that was a deep 3. It's almost he was bringing back the NBA three-point line.
Here's Thompson. Inside pass. Shot up, no. Enzor tips it out, and now Yoder's going for it. And now tipped away again. Here's Yoder in a fast break. He goes up, and he is fouled on the floor, or going up on the shot. The foul's going to go on Viking, number 5, Sam Thompson. Going to the line to shoot 2 free throws will be number 40, Colin Yoder. Free throw up by Yoder, and it's good. Yoder's second free throw up, and this one is also good. 2017, Indians with a 3-point lead. Here is Thompson. Passes to Zahn. Zahn tries to kick it out, and a rebound to Gokenauer. Here's Swanner to the left. Tries to get it inside to Enzor. He does. Left baseline. Enzor goes. Puts up a shot, and he's fouled on the arm by number 23, Mitchell Gerber. Now Enzor's going to go to the line for 2 free throws. Enzor has 4 points, looking for points number 5 and 6. Enzor's free throw up, no good on the first. Number 44, Jashawn McClung into the lineup. Enzor's second free throw is also no good. And a rebound comes down to Huntington North. Here's Zahn, swings it over. This is Thompson, gets it out to Faust. Now Zahn had a hot hand in the first quarter and has slowed down since, and now he throws up a wild shot, and I think they're going to call a foul with a body on Peyton Enzor. Seth Maddox at the scorer's table, set to check in for the Indians, getting his first minutes of the night. This free throw is up and a brick by Zahn, and Maddox checks in and replaces Enzor. One more free throw to come for Zahn. This one is up and good. Here is Gokenauer to Swanner. Swanner dribbles to his left. Over in the corner to Yoder. Yoder drives baseline now. He's going to bring it back out to Swanner. Swanner inside to McClung and loses control. Yoder saves it. Here's Faust. Goes inside Curlis. Ball knocked away. They're going to call a foul I think they're going to call it on Swanner, but from up here I heard nothing but basketball.
Like we keep on saying, that's why we're up in the booth and they're wearing the stripes.
They did call that foul on Swanner. Now Zahn eyes a three, and this one gets stuck in the goal, and it's going to go to Mississinewa. Swanner working the basketball. He's at the top of the key. Now dribbles to the left, goes around his defender and brings it back out. Here's McClung, goes inside. It's going to be a travel. Drew Castanon back into the lineup, returning to the Indian lineup. It's 20-18. 2-point lead for the Indians. It's been a slow-moving ball game. With the ball, here's number 5. Now Zahn. Hostler eyes a three. This one's good. So Hosler hits the three. Campbell checking in. He replaces Gokenauer. So that foul was on Jordan Hollowell, his second and the team's third. Here's Campbell in the corner. Maddox, a three. This one's good.
You know, that play right there, they moved the ball around. Swanner took it up to the top of the key, nice and smooth, passed around. That's how they got that clean three.
Shot up and shot good by Sam Thompson. Here is Swanner working to the left. Now back to the right and back to the left and swings it over to Cade Campbell. Campbell to Maddox. Out to Swanner. Inside pass, McClung in the corner. Maddox, another three from the same spot, no good. McClung goes up with a rebound, puts it off the glass and puts it in.
Nice rebound, nice way to get the two-pointer. And he had another defender trying to get him, and he just went around and got the easy two-point bucket.
Here's Thompson. Over to Zahn. Under 10 seconds to play. It's 25-24, Indians with a lead. Here's Hosler, a three in the corner. They're going to call a foul on number 21, Cade Campbell. Hostler's free throw is no good. 2 more to go. What I saw there is I thought Campbell was just trying to box him out after he'd shot the ball, but unfortunately the official saw otherwise. This free throw's good, and we're tied at 25 with 4.5 seconds to play in the third quarter. One more free throw, and this one's up and good. Here's Campbell. In the corner, Swanner launches a three. This one is short. And at the end of the third quarter, Huntington North 26, Mississinewa 25. Back in 2 minutes with the final quarter of the JV contest. This is Indian basketball on the Tribe Sports Network. Welcome back to Mississinewa High School as we are going to the fourth quarter. It's 26-25, Huntington North with the lead, and Thompson's going to work the basketball. Thompson to his left. Here's Hosler. Free throw line turnaround jumper, no good. Rebound, Drew Castanon, and he loses control and now gets it to Swanner. Swanner in the corner to Sizemore. Sizemore spots a three ball, no good. Sizemore has been ice cold so far this game. Sizemore fouls number 42, Jordan Hollowell. And he's going to go to the line. I think Sizemore's going to check out. Shot up by Hollowell's free throw is good. That was his first. So McClung checks in for Sizemore. That's Tay McClung. And it's a three-point lead for Huntington North at 28-25. Here's McClung, drives baseline, spin move, goes up, and they said he traveled. Back the other way comes Huntington North. Class 2A and 4A state championships being played today. I know the 2A championship is over, and I'm assuming the 4A championship is over. Last I knew, in the 4A championship, East Central and Lowell was tied at 7 in the second quarter. Here is Swanner. Dribbling to the left, goes around his defender, gets it to Enzor. Enzor jumper, no good. Rebound fought for and brought out by Thompson. Huntington North working the ball from left to right. Pass inside, taken away by Enzor. Just about. He traveled. A very, 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 very slow-moving JV game. They've only got 28 points at Huntington North and only 25 for the Indians. Here's Swanner in a corner of three. This one is no good. Rebound Castanon, and he is fouled. But it's on the floor. It's going to be on number 5, I believe. No, it's on number 1, Adam Zahn. Campbell to inbound. He tried to get it to Castanon, and it was a bad pass. And a layup the other way was Hollowell. Here's Swanner, top of the key. He's got to get going offensively. Tried to get it inside to Enzor, and it was batted away by Thompson. Now taken away by Castanon, and Swanner smartly slows things down. Now gets it to Campbell. Campbell inside McClung. McClung backs around, goes up, puts it off the glass, and puts it in. 30-27, Huntington North with the lead. Castanon pressuring Thompson. It looked like he carried. They said he stepped out of bounds, but he carried originally, and then he happened to step out of bounds. So either way, it was going back to the Indians.
Yeah, they'll take either or. They really don't matter as long as they get the ball with, they got to improve offensively with only 4 minutes and 30 seconds left here in the fourth.
Campbell around his defender goes up, and he was fouled on the floor. Fouls on number 1, Adam Zahn. It's going to be his second, team's 5th. Swanner inbounding. Throws it to Enzor. Enzor to Yoder. Indians need to slow things down and get a good shot. Here's McClung. Over to Campbell. Campbell looks. Finally gets it to Yoder. Now Yoder needs to get it to Swanner. Now he does. Now Swanner Around his defender, goes inside. Nice little floater up, rims in and out. Things have just not gone Swanner's way, and a traveling on number 1, Adam Zahn. Swanner has had so many good looks at the basket, so many good-looking shots. They just go in and out. Just not been his night.
Yeah, like that floater a few seconds ago. Nice shot. It just went out of the basket. But I like his effort tonight, trusting himself that he can be a leader on the offensive side.
Here's Swanner, swings it over to McClung, who drives baseline, goes up, and he is hacked. And I think it's going to be on number 23, Mitchell Gerber, but let's see what the officials call it. It is on number 23, Mitchell Gerber. Let's see if McClung can hit his free throws. Down the stretch, you've got to hit free throws in a game like this.
Yeah, especially, you're in the fourth quarter, 3 minutes and 58 seconds left in the game. You have to hit your free throws, and, of course, he misses the first one, and that's just kind of bad luck for him. But hopefully he can make the second one.
One more for McClung. This one is up, and no good. Indians just not having things go their way. Hopefully things can change in the varsity contest, and everything goes their way. Here's Hostler over to Zahn. Zahn spots up for a 3. This one's no good. An easy rebound and an easy layup for Jordan Hollowell.
Seen many great plays by them, and as the progressive, they are getting very better. You can tell by the first.
Swanner shoots an elbow jumper, and he finally gets one to go down. And it's 32-29, Huntington North with the lead. And I'm sure they're probably going to try to work the clock a little bit here. You've got to have a good defensive stance. Yoder defending. Now Zahn inside Hollowell, defended by Enzor. Kicks it out. Here's Thompson, defended by Yoder. And now Campbell's going to defend Hosler. Over Thompson. Over to Zahn. Kicks it out. Hosler eyes a 3. This one, no good. Rebound McClung. And now Swanner going to work the far sideline. Swanner, nice pass to Enzor. Kicks it out. McClung. A 3 to tie. No good. They're going to call over the back foul on Yoder.
Good effort by Yoder trying to get the rebound. And of course, unfortunately, had to come over and back foul.
Very good defense by Huntington North to test McClung's shot. Shot up by Hollowell, and he put it in. Swanner with the basketball, working, gets it over to Campbell. Campbell kicks it back out. This is Swanner. Swanner goes inside, kicks it out to Campbell. Campbell around his defender, drives baseline, and he's fouled on the floor. Campbell going to the line. I don't know if it's a shooting foul. He's in the bonus, so it's a 1-and-1 bonus. Free throw by Campbell is good. And like we said, down the stretch, you've got to hit free throws. I was talking to my grandfather the other day while we were watching a Pacers game, and it was a very close game. And he said free throws are going to win this game, and he was right. In a close game like this, free throws is what wins you the game. Timeout Huntington North. 34-31, 2:03 left in the JV contest. Back in 1 minute. This is Indian basketball on the Tribe Sports Network. Here is Hosler defended by Campbell. Campbell all over him. 34-31. Right now, good defense by Zahn. Zahn tries to get it inside Hollowell, and I thought he stepped out of bounds, but the officials must not have saw it. Now Hosler. Right now, if you're the Indians, you just try to get a stop. You don't need to foul, just get a stop. You're only down 3, 1 possession. Just try to get a stop or try to get a steal, but do not foul until you're under a minute. Shot up by Hosler, no good, and a rebound by Enzor, and that's what you want if you're an Indian. Pass to McClung, goes up, and put it in, and it's 34-33. You got to play good defense here. No, you don't need to foul. You just try to get a stop. Unless they start stalling, then that's when you foul.
Yeah, with
Out of bounds on Campbell. I thought for some reason the way how he blew that whistle, he was going to call a foul.
With 1 minute and 8 seconds left, you don't necessarily need a foul right now. You're only down 1. Just play good D and get it down to your side.
Once it gets down to 30 seconds, if they're still dribbling the ball, then you foul.
Yep.
You got to get a stop. They're eventually going to have to shoot it, or you're going to have to make free throws. Oh, now they're going to foul. Coach Cunningham says it's time to foul, and that might be a good strategy. So if they're hitting the free throws, then you've got time. If you miss a shot, you still got time to try to crawl back into it. Shooting free throws is going to be Sam Thompson. It's a 1-and-1, so a missed free throw here, and you've got to box out and get the rebound. And this one's good. One more, and it's still a one-possession game if he makes it or misses it. That's why it's a smart decision, I guess. Either way, if you foul with 1 minute or 30 seconds, it's a smart decision because it's still one possession. This free throw's good, and fortunately, the Indians have a chance to tie. Here's Yoder. Gets it over to Swanner. We're down to 50 seconds. Swanner to his left. Now back to the right, goes to the free throw line. Looks to Campbell. Now he gets it to Campbell. Campbell brings it back out to Swanner. Swanner, top of the key. Dribbles to his left. Now cross-court pass to McClung, and he was fouled, and he's going to go to the line for a 1-and-1 bonus. And now you have got to hit your free throws.
Yeah, that kind of helped out for the Indians, getting that 1-and-1. If he makes it, he has another one, and hopefully they can tie it up right here.
Tay McClung going to the line with 37.1 left. Free throw. Rims in and out. It's no good. Now you got to foul. You've got to foul now.
Foul him now.
Thompson inside. Throws up a wild shot. No good. Rebound Enzor. Now you're running. Here's McClung. Goes up. And it's off of his hands and out of bounds. Timeout Huntington North. You had a perfect opportunity. Just a pass a little too strong for McClung. And it's out of bounds, 35-33 with 26 seconds left. Back in 30 seconds. This is Indian basketball on the Tribe Sports Network. Welcome back to Mississinewa High School. 26 seconds on the clock. First, you play for the steal. If they get by it, then you foul. 35-33, Huntington North. Indians had a perfect opportunity to tie. Just a pass a little too strong from Swanner. Yoder knocked it away. It's out of bounds. There you go. Good defense. A half second went off the clock. And now Maddox comes in for Enzor. That's just speed to keep up defensively. You've a steal here, and it's huge. Now this is where you foul. Now you foul. Now you've got to foul. Now you've got to foul. Campbell's.
You got to foul. You got to foul.
Now you foul. Now you foul. And Hollowell's fouled. by number 12, Seth Maddox. And Hollowell has to hit both free throws to make it a two-possession game. If he only hits one, you still got a chance to tie on a three. I think you got to go to Swanner here. He's the most confident offensively. You got to go to him. Free throw up. Free throw good. It's a three-point game. A miss here is huge. If not, you've got to go down and score instantly and then foul. And he missed it. Here comes Maddox. Timeout, Mississinewa. It's a full timeout. 9 seconds, 9 and 1/10 of a second left in the game. 36, Huntington North. 33, Mississinewa. Back in 30 seconds. This is Indian basketball on the Tribe Sports Network. Back on the Tribe Sports Network. It's 36-33 with 9 seconds left on the clock in the fourth quarter. You've got to hit a three to tie it. If you make it two, you foul instantly. Here's Swanner to Campbell. Campbell to Maddox. Maddox a three for the tie. It's no good. And that's the way this game's going to end. At the end of the ball game, Huntington North 36, Mississinewa 33. Back with a varsity pregame in about 5 minutes. This is Indian basketball on the Tribe Sports Network. Welcome back to Mississinewa High School varsity pregame, getting ready to get underway. Mississinewa is coming in 1-1 against Huntington North, 1-1. Tabit Galt leads the team in scoring, coming off of a 29-point game, 15 rebounds. We'll hear the comments of Andrew Everton, 30 seconds. This is Indian basketball on the Tribe Sports Network.
Coach Everett's with us. Coach, coming in tonight off of a win against Manchester on Wednesday. I know there were some things that you wasn't happy with. There were some things that you saw that you were happy with. Let's start off with the negative things. What were some of the things that you weren't too happy with that you need to get corrected for tonight?
There really wasn't that much. I was a little upset after the game, but after watching the film, I thought we played a pretty good game. We were in foul trouble, and you can't really avoid that. I didn't think we made any really terrible decisions as far as our fouls were concerned there. My biggest thing is we turned the ball over 9 times in the fourth quarter, and if we're a senior-led team, that can't happen. So if we fix that, we're okay. But yeah, I mean, there were some things to improve, but overall, I felt like it was a pretty good game.
Didn't get a chance to talk to you on Wednesday up in Manchester. So how was things in the summertime preparing for the season?
Really good. We had a really good summer. We went out, we played a ton of basketball. Our guys played some really good competition. Our guys have put in a ton of work in the off-season. Again, we're senior-led. We've got 6 seniors this year. So we're kind of all in. We think it's going to be a pretty fun year for these guys.
How well has the team took in Anthony Horton, the transfer from Marion?
Really good. And we have good kids, but the main reason is because Anthony's a good kid. He's came and he hasn't tried to step on anybody's toes. Like, he just wants to do whatever he can to help this team win. Now he's playing a lot, but I feel like even if he wasn't, he'd still be bought in. He just wants us to win. So yeah, it's been really nice. It's been a good transition.
Huntington North defeated Homestead on Wednesday, 69-45. Tell us what you know about Huntington North.
They're a very good basketball team. They always are. It's always tough for us to play them game 2 of the year, but I feel like we're more prepared than ever this year. They're just so fundamentally sound. They don't make mistakes defensively. They make you play patient, and if not, well, we're going to turn the ball over, so we're going to have to slow down a little bit tonight. And offensively, they're just going to run through their stuff until they get an open look. They don't take bad shots, so we're going to have to play a disciplined game.
Coach, thank you for your time, and we'll talk to you after the game.
Thank you very much.
Andrew Everett, head coach of the Mississinewa Indians, back after this on the Tribe Sports Network.
So welcome back to Mississinewa High School. Again, Mississinewa comes in at 1-1. Huntington North comes in at 1-1. Tabit Galt comes in off of a career high in scoring on Wednesday, 29 points to go along with 15 rebounds to start the season for Tabit Galt. Ryan, 15 points, or 15 rebounds, 29 points. You don't do much better than that.
Yeah, that's a very impressive start, especially being on the road. And that's, again, an impressive start for this 2017-2018 season.
Tabit Galt, at his best, was last year against Marion, where he had 25 points and 27 rebounds. That was Tabit Galt at his best, and that's coming down to the end of the season, getting ready to go into tournament play. The first game of the season, Tabit comes out, scores 29 points, and has 15 rebounds. Tabit Galt has a bright future ahead of him this season to go along with the transfer out of Marion. That is Anthony Horton. Those two guys right there are going to lead this Indian offense, along with Connor Wilson leading the assist column. Well, we're getting ready to get things underway here from Gas City. Huntington North Vikings against the Mississinewa Indians. We'll be back after the national anthem and starting lineups. This is Indian basketball on the Tribe Sports Network.
Junior, number 11, Nick Holbrook. The 6'2" forward senior, number 21, Mitchell Geller. The 6'4" junior forward, number 23, Sawyer Stoltz. A 5'11" guard, junior, number 30, Trey Williams. Rounding out the lineup, a 5'10" junior guard, number 33, Zach Gordon. The Vikings are coached tonight by Mr. Craig Teagle. And on the non-starters, your Mississinewa Indians. Number 10, Jared May. Number 24, Elijah Mound. Number 32, Larry Dean. Number 33, Tyson Skeen. And now let's meet the starters for your Mississinewa Indians. He's a senior. Number 12, Jalen Martin. Another senior, number 21, Trey Jones. Sophomore, number 22, Anthony Horton. A senior, number 30, Connor Wilson. Rounding out the lineup, the man in the middle, he's a senior, number 42, Tabit Gold. Your Indians are coached by Mr. Andrew Evers.
Welcome back to Mississinewa High School, as we're getting ready to get things underway in the varsity contest. Jalen Martin, Trey Jones, Anthony Horton, Connor Wilson, and Tabit Galt, the starters for the Indians. For the Huntington North Vikings, Hank Pulver, Mitchell Geller, Sawyer Stoltz, Trey Williams, and Zach Doherty, the starters for the Vikings. Tipping things up is Tabit Galt and number 21, Mitchell Geller, and the tap is controlled by the Indians. They move from left to right in their home white uniforms in the red and gray trim. Horton dribbles to the right, now back to his left, looks, gets it in the corner to Jalen Martin, swings it back out to Horton, now Wilson in the corner to Jones. Wilson, cross-court pass to Martin. Martin back over to Wilson, and now Jones. Wilson, now Horton. Horton to Martin. Martin back to Horton in the corner. Horton drives, spin move in the paint, puts up a wild shot, no good. And the Indians are 0 for 1. Back the other way with a basketball. This is Zach Doherty. Doherty, now Pulver, now Doherty, and he is fouled by number 22, Anthony Horton. No, it's a travel on Huntington North. I thought that they called a foul because when the whistle blew is when Horton made contact, but they said he traveled. Now here's Horton at the top of the key. Dribbles, now gets it to Wilson, now Trey Jones. Jones looking. I think they're trying to get it to Tabit Galt. Wilson. Inside, brings it back out. Connor over to Trey Jones. Now to Anthony Horton, now to Jalen Martin. Martin looks. Indians being very patient offensively. Now Horton. Kicks it back out to Jalen Martin. Back to Horton. Good defense by Huntington North. Martin, Wilson. Back to Martin. Now to Anthony Horton. The Indians are kind of standing flat-footed here offensively. And now they bring it back out to Connor Wilson. Now Jalen Martin. Now to Trey Jones. Trey. Now to Martin at the top of the key. Dribbles to the left. Brings it back outside. Back to Trey Jones. Over to Connor Wilson. Wilson swings it in the corner to Anthony Horton. Back to Connor Wilson. Wilson goes inside, brings it back out. Inside Tabbitt. Galt pass, and it's taken away. And a slam dunk at the other end by number 21, Mitchell Geller. 2-0. Here's Horton. Now to Trey Jones. Now to Horton. Now Horton swings it over to Wilson. Wilson back to Horton. Anthony driving inside, goes up, right hand layup, puts it in. We're tied at 2. 5:20 left and counting. With the basketball, this is Pulver. Goes over to Geller. Back to Williams. Williams in the corner to Pulver. Pulver dribbles to the right. Inside Geller. Geller around Jones with a floater, no good. Put up off the glass and good. So Geller with 4 points. And here comes Anthony Horton. Horton to Wilson. Now to Martin. Over to Trey Jones. Jones to Martin. Martin to the left. Back to Jones. Now Martin. Or Wilson, rather. Horton. Wilson over to Horton. Very, very slow moving first quarter. Trey Jones. Back to Anthony Horton at the top of the key. Horton brings it back outside, throws it over to Tabbitt Galt. Jumper up and along and no good. He wants a foul. It's an offensive foul going to be called on number 33, Zach Doherty. His first and the team's first. That is what I like about Anthony Horton. He plays very good defensively. He just gets into the minds of the other team. Here is Horton, top of the key. Swings it over to Connor Wilson. Back to Horton. Back to Wilson. Wilson and Horton just playing catch at the top of the key. Back to Horton. Over to Trey Jones. Jones back to Horton. Over to Wilson. Wilson eyes a three. This one is long and no good. They're going to call a foul on the floor, and who's the foul going to be on?
I believe Connor Wilson.
It is on Connor Wilson. He fouled Mitchell Geller. That's Wilson's first and the team's first. Inbounding. Here is Williams. Williams with the basketball. Goes inside, and they're going to call a foul on Tabbitt Galt. He fouled Geller. Tabbitt Galt listed at 6'6", but Geller is listed at 6'2", and he is every bit of Tabbitt Galt's size. Here's a three and an error ball by Williams, and a rebound, Anthony Horton. Horton running. Horton inside, spin move to Tabbitt Galt. Galt jumper is no good. He left it short. Inside Geller. Taken away by Wilson. Wilson running. Goes inside, contact, and Wilson goes up and put it in.
Nice move by Wilson, kind of taking it under his own power and got the two-point basket.
Here's Pulver. Inside. Back out to Williams. Over to Doherty. Inside, I think it's going to be an over and back penalty on Huntington North. It's going to be Indian basketball. Good defense, help defense from Connor Wilson. It was one-on-one, Geller versus Galt, and Wilson came over to help, which forced that turnover. We're tied at 4 with 2:23 left in the first quarter. Not a single substitution so far this game. Here's Wilson moving to the top of the key. gets it to Anthony Horton. Horton, the main point guard here, running traffic now, swings it over to Connor Wilson. Inside Tabit Galt, backs down, goes up, misses it, gets his own rebound, misses it again, goes up, and puts it back in.
That's a good way to stick with it and don't give up.
He missed his first 4 shots and then puts in his 5th. But he got 2 rebounds on that possession. With the ball, this is Doherty in the corner. Inside, Stoltz backs down. Galt said, get out of here, this is my house. Wilson running the floor. In the corner, Jalen Martin. He launches a 3. This one is a little bit long and no good. Larry Dean at the scores table set to check in off of a Jalen Martin missed 3. In the corner, Wilson playing good defense. Cross-court pass. This is Doherty. He launches a 3, and he hit it. You can't leave him open or he's going to make you pay for it.
Right, you have to block out. Every time, anytime someone shoots a 3, you have to block out.
Wilson over to Martin. Back to Wilson. Over to Horton. Back over to Connor Wilson. Connor in the corner, Jalen. Martin to Wilson. Wilson wants to get it back to Anthony Horton, and now he does. Horton goes inside. Hesitation move, and they said he's fouled on Horton. Oh, they gave it to him. Basket and a foul. That's twice this year. I've saw it once in girls basketball and once now in guys basketball. They said the basket is good. So Anthony Horton gets his 4th point and going to the line for 1 more. I think what's going on is they're starting to give him more continuation calls because Anthony continued after the foul was called and made the shot. Normally, last year the shot would have been no good and he'd have went to the line, or he would have took the ball out of bounds. This time, they just gave it to him. 8-7. Tabit Galt checks out of the lineup, and Larry Dean comes in. Horton at the line. His free throw is up and no good. With the ball, at the top of the key is Williams over to Bartram. Now Doherty. Williams eyes a 3, misses it. Rebound Anthony Horton. We're down to 30 seconds left in the first. Indians up 1, 8-7. Horton goes inside, kicks it back out to Connor Wilson. They want 1 shot. Coach Everts calls out the play from the far side. He wants it Wisconsin ran. Down to 10 seconds. Now they're going to go. Here's Horton. Dribbles to the left. 5, 4. Horton step back 3 ball on the way. This one is no good. And at the end of 1 quarter of play, Indians 8, Vikings 7. Back in 2 minutes with the second. This is Indian basketball on the Tribe Sports Network. Welcome back to Mississinewa High School. Indians lead by 1, 8-7, as we're getting ready to start the second quarter. And man, oh man, it was slow moving, and then things really got going.
Yeah, started off slow like the JV game in the first 2, and it kind of picked up, and hopefully the Indians can pick up energy even more this second quarter.
Sadly, the JV game was slow the entire game. Right now, the varsity game was slow, and now it's got moving. Here's Williams with the basketball. Goes over to Bartram, and now to Newcomb. Newcomb looked like he traveled. Now Bartram eyes a three. This three is long and no good, and a rebound comes down to Tabit Galt. Here's Horton. Horton to Wilson. Back over to Horton. In the corner, Jalen Martin. Martin to Horton. Wilson to Martin. Back to Connor Wilson. Now Horton to Wilson. To Horton. Horton inside, kicks it in the corner to Jalen Martin. He eyes a three. This one is no good. Rebound fought for, and it's off of Trey Williams. It's Indian basketball. Victor Oladipo out of the Pacers lineup tonight with a bruised right knee as the Pacers take on the Celtics in Indianapolis. Bad news for Pacer fans. Wilson to Martin. Over to Horton. The way this game's going, it's going to be 20-15 the final score. Here's Horton. Huntington North really denying Tabit Galt. Galt goes inside. Now kicks it back to Horton. Horton. Martin in the corner. Spots up for a three. This one he gets to go. Anthony Horton found him in the corner, who was wide open, and Martin drilled it. Here's Horton. Goes inside with a shot. They wave this one off. It's one of those things, Ryan. I said, I've only seen it twice happen all year. Horton going to inbound the ball. Floats it up to Larry Dean. Dean inside Galt. Galt kicks it out Martin. Over to Wilson. Wilson, he eyes the three. This one no good. Tabit Galt fighting for the rebound. Like I said, over the back on Tabit Galt. Trey Jones into the lineup. Here is Bartram. Williams. Pass out of bounds, and it's Indian basketball. Doherty into the lineup. He replaces Williams. Keegan Bartram, Devin Newcomb. Zach Doherty. Sawyer Stoltz and Mitchell Geller, the five on the floor for Huntington North. Wilson at the top of the key. Between the legs dribble, brings it back out. Swings it over to Trey Jones in the corner, Anthony Horton. Horton back to Jones. To Horton. Now Wilson back to Horton. Swings it over to Trey Jones. Wilson flashes. Now they get it to him. Now to Horton. Horton goes in. Puts up a shot. No good. Cross-court pass. Here's Doherty. A wide open three by Keegan Bartram, and he hit it nothing but net.
That's what I said. Every shot that's a three-point shot, you have to block out.
11-10, Indians with a 1-point lead. Here's Martin. Back to Horton. Offensive foul on Larry Dean. It's being called equally. It's 4-3 in the fouls column. That's Larry Dean's first foul. Geller inside. 3 by Doherty. This one no good. Rebound Connor Wilson. And here comes Wilson the other way. Wilson goes inside, gets it out to Martin. Back to Wilson. Horton goes inside, went up. He wanted a foul, and it was no call. Pass floats out of bounds. Man, Horton was going up like he was getting ready to jam it on top of somebody. Boy, there's 2,850 people that can fit into this gym, and I bet we're at 1,850. And I'm telling you, this place would have erupted if Anthony Horton would have slammed that one home. 11-10, a 1-point lead for the Indians with 3:38 and counting left in the first half. Wilson spots up for 3. This one is no good. Now to Horton. Coach Everett's wanting a foul called on Wilson's 3. Horton over to Wilson. Wilson over to Horton. Horton brings it back out. Jalen Martin. Here is Wilson to Jones. Jones to Wilson. Wilson to Martin. Back to Wilson. 30-second timeout, Mississinewa. 11-10, 3:07 left in the first half. Back in 30 seconds. This is Indian basketball on the Tribe Sports Network. Back at Mississinewa High School, 11-10 out of a 30-second timeout from Mississinewa. Anthony Horton with the basketball, going to control the ball at the top of the key, swings it over to Connor Wilson. Wilson gets it off to Martin. It's a 3-man weave at the top of the key. Here's Horton in the corner, Wilson. Wilson brings it back out, throws it over to Anthony Horton. Here's Martin. He spots up for another 3. This one is no good. Martin wants a foul. Jalen Martin, 1 of 4 from three-point range. Into the game comes Trey Williams. Tabit Galt sits on the bench with 2 fouls, who has struggled all game long. Here comes Horton, top of the key to Wilson. Swings it over Trey Jones. Jones to Wilson. Wilson brings it back out. An offensive foul on Larry Dean. Heisman Skeens into the lineup for the first time tonight. Larry Dean has 2 fouls. Here is Horton playing defense. Shot up and good by Hank Pulver. Here is Horton. Horton, top of the key. Brings it back out. Here is Wilson to Martin. Back to Wilson. Wilson over to Heisman Skeens. Skeens to Jones. Jones spots up for a 3. This one no good. Shot up and good by Zach Doherty. It's 14-11, Huntington North with 90 seconds to play in the first half. Such a slow-moving first half, Ryan.
Yes, very slow. And we were hoping it would kind of pick up, but it hasn't yet.
Skeens, Wilson to Martin. Martin to Wilson. Wilson dribbles, goes around his defender, kicks it in the corner. Horton, who drives inside, puts up a shot, wants a foul, and again, no call.
It looked like up here there was a foul.
He shoved off, and again, no call. You know, the Indian players are getting very frustrated. I know Coach Everett is getting a little bit frustrated himself. He just had a talk with one of the officials to try to figure out how come they aren't getting the calls that are being called down at this end. With the ball, this is Pulver. Gets it to Doherty. Back to Pulver. Such a slow moving first half. There's not really much to talk about at the halftime break. Down to 30 seconds left in the half. Fouls on number 30, Connor Wilson, his second. And the team's sixth, Peyton Enzor, set to check into the lineup. He replaces Connor Wilson. This was one of the problems on Wednesday, foul trouble for the Indians. 15 seconds to play in the half. Geller with it. Now this is Doherty, defended by Horton. Shot up, no good. Rebound, Peyton Enzor. To Horton at the buzzer. This one no good. At the end of the first half, Huntington North 14, Mississinewa 11. Back with the second half in just a few moments. Welcome back to Mississinewa High School after a very slow-moving first half. The second half is underway, and Connor Wilson drives inside, gets it to Tabit Galt, and he misses it. Doherty swings it over. Here is Williams. Inside, Stoltz backs down, goes up, puts it up, no good. Rebound, Connor Wilson. 14-11. 7.5 minutes left in the third quarter. Here's Martin. Wilson. Horton to Jones. Horton dribbles to the left. Brings it back out to Trey Jones. Indians have got to start working the ball, trying to get inside to Tabit Galt, who had 29 points against Manchester on Wednesday. Tabit Galt has only 2 points here tonight.
I tell you, the game against Manchester wasn't as slow as this one right here.
Here is Jones. Right-hand dribble. Now to Horton. Wilson. Martin. Thought about a three. Kicks it back out to Wilson. Wilson to Horton. Horton. Jones had a wide open three and didn't take it. Now Wilson to Horton. Horton to Wilson. Connor. Back to Anthony. He threw it away. Geller goes up. No good. Rebound, Anthony Horton. It's off of number 30. Trey Williams. Now it's Mississinewa basketball. Connor Wilson going to inbound the ball to Anthony Horton. And the Indians are going to work the ball up across half court and set it up at the top of the key. At the top of the key, Horton goes over to Connor Wilson. Still scoreless here in this second half for both teams. Horton goes around his defender, brings it back out, now Tabit. Galt to Wilson. Wilson in the corner, Anthony. Horton goes inside, goes up with a wild shot, and finally gets the foul called. Now you got to go to the free throw line. And you've got to hit your free throws. He's 0 for 1 on the night. Free throw is up. And this one also no good. He's 0 for 2 at the free throw line. The Indians, listen to this, have shot 2 free throws the entire night. Huntington North, on the other hand, has shot 0. Second free throw by Horton, also no good. Tabit Galt offensive rebound, and now he's fouled. That's a big rebound by Tabit Galt.
Yes, an amazing rebound and way to fight for it.
He's tired of playing games. He's ready to go. Wilson looks, got to get it in. Now he floats it over to Trey Jones in the corner, back to Wilson. Connor looks. Wants to get it inside the Tabit. Horton brings it back out. Goes inside, kicks it out to Wilson in the corner. Martin, a three for the tie. This one's short. Rebound, Anthony Horton. And now it's a turnover. Horton wanted a foul. Heisman Skeens set to check in. And here comes Skeens. He replaces Anthony Horton. With the ball, this is Doherty. Over to Pulver. Swings it over to Mitchell Geller. Geller inside Stoltz. Wide open layup the other way for Trey Williams, and he's on the board with 2 points. Here is Connor Wilson at 16-11. Indians trail by 5. Now Skeens. Heisman over to Connor Wilson. Wilson dribbles. Brings it back out. Cross-court pass to Trey Jones. Jones over to Martin. Now to Skeens. Back to Martin. Martin, such a slow-moving quarter here. Only 2 points scored this entire quarter so far with 4:40 left and counting. Wilson, you've got to start working the ball. got to get to the middle of this zone. It's a 2-3 zone. The key is to get to the free throw line, get to the middle, and go inside and get a layup. And right now, the Indians are just settling for threes. Skeens to Wilson, over to Trey Jones. Jones to Wilson. Trey Jones, now to Heisman Skeens. Back to Wilson. Wilson to Jones. Jones jumper. Jones is no good. Fought for the rebound. It's off of Stoltz. And Anthony Horton checking in for Wilson. Indians have had very little looks that close to the basket, and those are the looks you got to capitalize on. Horton throws it up to Tabit Galt, cross court to Heisman Skeens. Here's Horton, over to Jones. Jones in the corner to Anthony Horton. Back to the corner to Trey Jones. Back to the top of the key, Horton. Ryan, what do you think the Indians have got to do to get a good look?
Well, you get, like you said earlier, you got to get to the middle three-point line or farther into the basket and make those plays, and you got to step up the play. You know, in my opinion, they're going a little slow right now. The first quarter through the third quarter, they've been moving slow. They have to pick up the pace, and like we said earlier, they have to get moving into the basket.
Here is Geller in the corner. Kicks it back out. 16-11, 3 minutes left in the third quarter. You would think we were still in the first half. If you're watching at home, you're looking at it right. It is 16-11. Here is Skeens in the corner, Horton. Horton goes inside, shot up, and it's good, and count it, and put Anthony Horton at the line. He's 0 for 3 at the line. He needs to go 25% here and make it 1 for 4, and you'll only be down 2.
Yeah, now the thing is, if he can make this free throw.
1 free throw on the way. Horton's free throw up and no good. But an Indiana offensive rebound. Anthony Horton 0 for 4 from the free throw line. Here's Trey Jones. Indians trail by 3 at 16-13 with 2:40 left in the third. Heisman Skeens to the top of the key. Here's Skeens, hands it off to Martin. Martin now hands it off to Horton. Horton goes inside to Tabit Galt. Nice pass. He is fouled, and he's going to the line to shoot 2 free throws. That's what you got to have from Anthony Horton. Get to the center, dish it off to Tabit, and 9 times out of 10, he's going to finish that bucket. But he's only had a chance to shoot the ball, 2 times.
Yeah, move it up to the floor, let the big man have it, and have him take it away.
Galt's free throw's good. He's only got 3 points. He's had more than 2 looks, but the legitimate looks have only been 2. 1 more for Tabit. Free throw up, free throw good. Tabit Galt 2 for 2 from the line, and he's got 4 points. 16-15, 2:20 left in the third. Yes, I did say third.
And yes, it is. 15-16 in the third.
Here's a 3. This one is good by Hank Pulver. A 4-point lead for the Vikings, 19-15. A 3-man weave at the top of the key. Here's Horton. Hands it off to Heisman Skeens. Skeens dishes it off to Martin. Martin to Horton. Horton inside. Shot up. No good. Fought for it. It's going to be a jump ball. It is a jump ball. Possession goes to Mississinewa. and the Huntington North fans are not happy at all. It's Huntington North basketball on the jump ball. 19-15. We're down to 90 seconds left in the third quarter. Martin defends. Here's Doherty. Doherty defended by Horton. Fouls on number 21, Trey Jones. Larry Dean into the lineup. He replaces Trey Jones. Inbounding the ball. Doherty to Williams. Out to Pulver. 19-15, down to a minute to play in the third. Tabit Galt, I thought, had all ball. A minute to play, 19-15 and left in the third. I thought Tabit had all ball, but they called a foul. It's 19-15, 56 and a half seconds left in the third quarter. And Connor Wilson's picked up his third foul. .54 seconds now. Skeens defending up top. This is Williams. Bartram. Looked like he traveled. No call. Bartram a three. Right in Wilson's eye. 22-15. Anthony Horton. Now he launches a three. This one's no good. Three at the buzzer is no good by Zach Doherty. And at the end of the third quarter, Huntington North 22, Mississinewa 15. Back in 1 minute with the fourth quarter. This is Indians basketball on the Tribe Sports Network. Welcome back to Mississinewa High School. It's going to be Indian basketball to start the fourth quarter. It's 22-15. Huntington North with the lead. It is a 7-point lead for the Vikings. Here's Wilson. Hands it off to Horton, and let's see if the Indians can get into an offensive rhythm here. Inside Tabit Galt. He goes up, puts it off the glass, no good. He wants a foul, but no call. Back the other way. Here is number 11, Pulver. Indians have got to make an adjustment defensively or offensively. Pulver a three, no good. Offensive rebound, shot up. They're going to call a foul. With the rebound was Sawyer Stoltz. Stoltz free throw up, and this one is no good. That is this free throw right here is the first attempted free throw by Huntington North all game long. That tells you how slow this game has been. Stoltz free throw also no good. So the foul plan turns out to be a good foul. Here is Wilson. Over to Martin. Back to Wilson to Horton. Wilson to Tabit Galt. Galt steps out for a three. This one no good. Indians have struggled all night offensively, trying to get in rhythm. Tabit Galt misses his first three of the night, and he has struggled from the field. Bartram to Pulver. Pulver inside free throw line. Back out. Bartram a three. It's a moving screen, and it's a good thing because Bartram hit that three. Connor Wilson going to bring the ball up the court at the top of the key. Wilson going to look. He goes, drives baseline, brings it back out, gets it to Anthony Horton. Over to Jalen Martin. Now back to Horton. Somebody's got to start shooting. You can't stall for 5 minutes at a time and then decide you want to shoot. Timeout, Mississinewa. It's a full timeout, Coach Everts. 22-15, 6:32 left in the ballgame. Back after this 1 minute timeout. This is Indian basketball on the Tribe Sports Network. Welcome back to Mississinewa High School in survival of the fittest here tonight as the Indians are trying to survive the stalling of Huntington North. Huntington North has literally stalled the entire game, and the Indians are trying to do the same thing. In my opinion, let Huntington North stall, but then you got to push the ball up offensively, and you got to start shooting more. You can't, stop. You're playing their game. You need to play your game.
Yeah, let Huntington North make the mistakes, not you, Huntington North.
Here is Wilson. Hands it off to Horton. Horton goes inside, kicks it out to Connor Wilson. Wilson kicks it out. Horton, wide open three, an offensive foul. Heisman Skeens into the lineup to replace Wilson. Here is Pulver. Over to Bartram. Now Doherty. Stoltz, Bartram. Geller. Calling a foul on Horton. That's going to be Horton's third foul. A 1-and-1 bonus for Zach Doherty. A 1-and-1. Doherty's free throw up and short. Rebound, Tabby Galt. Here's Horton. Inside. Lost control, and it's a turnover. At this point, Ryan, I would put in all my subs and just start fouling. Jared May not eligible to play because of a bad knee injury, but I would put him in to use all 5 fouls and make them shoot free throws. Officials getting together to discuss. Right now, they're trying to discuss if it's Indian ball or Vikings ball. It is Indian basketball. Here's Skeens. Hands it off Martin. Martin to Horton. Horton inside. Shot up. Off the glass. Put it in. Finally, some offensive rhythm coming from the Indians. It's a 5-point game. You got to play defense here. Bartram. Skeens defending. Skeens defending Bartram. Here's Pulver, defended by Jalen Martin. Martin all over him. Timeout, Huntington North. It's a full timeout. 22-17, 4:40 left in the ball game. Back after this 60-second timeout. Welcome back to Mississinewa High School out of the timeout. Indians right now are knocking on the door of coming back in this game. Here's a shot up and good. And Anthony Horton with the basketball.
You have to play better D right there, and that's what struggled with the Indians. You have to play better D.
Horton goes inside and puts it in. Anthony Horton's starting to get into an offensive rhythm, and that's what you need. It's 24-19. Indians have got to keep fighting. Here's a steal by Horton. Running the floor, goes inside. Spin move, pump fake to Galt. Put it off the glass and put it in.
That's the kind of rhythm that the Indians need to be in right here is moving the ball to their side and getting the easy buckets.
This is what you've got to do. You've got to step up and you've got to play defense. Shot up. It's a blocking foul on Heisman Skeens, and I can't believe it. He was standing still, and Geller just ran him right over like a locomotive coming in town, knocks him on the floor, and somehow, some way, they called a block. Skeens couldn't believe it. The fans couldn't believe it. And Coach Everts definitely couldn't believe it. And Geller's free throw is good. One more free throw is up. This one is good. So here comes Horton with the Indians down by 5. They're still in this game. Horton kicks it out. Skeens launches a 3. This one no good. Rebound Trey Jones. Jalen Martin a 3. Good! Jalen Martin with a big 3. 26-24, a huge 3 out of the senior Jalen Martin.
And that's a great way to get back in the game. You know, you've been trailing. You haven't been playing very good in the first 3. And now with 3 minutes and 22 seconds left, Indians 24, Hamilton North, 26. And we'll be back after this timeout. You're watching Indians basketball on the Tribe Sports Network.
Welcome back to Mississinewa High School. A huge, huge 3 from Jalen Martin. That's the kind of play you got to have out of your seniors. And Jalen Martin stepped up when he needed to step up and hit that shot. That was huge. A one-possession game. 26-24. The Indians played in a similar game like this last year in the sectional semifinals against Heritage. They won on a last-second layup by Connor Wilson. Good defense by the Indians. He traveled. Oh, my goodness, I thought he traveled, but they're calling a blocking foul on Anthony Horton. No, they called a moving screen. I thought they called a block. That's why Horton was like, what happened? What did I do? That's why, because they just called a moving screen, and Horton thought they called a block, and I did too.
Now the Indians are bringing it up, down by 2, get an easy bucket, and tie it up.
You've got to play smart here. You're down to 2 minutes and 40 seconds, and you're only down 2. Galt inside, goes up, and he's fouled. The Huntington North fans are in disbelief. Tabit Galt going to the line. He's 2 for 2. Free throw by Galt is good. One more for Tabit.
One more, and it ties it up. Get a stop down at the end of court and bring it back to the Indian side.
Shot up. Rolls out. Indians on a 4-0 run. Make it a 5-0 run. Pulver defended by Martin. Indians trail by 1. They're still in it. It's going to go down to the final few seconds of the game to determine who's the winner. A foul on Horton.
I tell you, Dalton, right there, you don't need fouls right here.
That's his 4th foul. At the line is going to be Zach Daughtery. Doherty at the line to shoot 2. Either way, even if he hits both, it's still a one-possession game. Free throw up. Free throw good. One more to come from Doherty. This one up. This one also good. Full timeout Huntington North. 28-25. 2:13 left in the game. Back in 1 minute. This is Indian basketball on the Tribe Sports Network. Back here at Mississinewa High School, Indians trail by 3. Out of the timeout, they're going to have the basketball. And if you're a Pacers fan, you've got to be very happy out of the play of Lance Stevenson in the first quarter. Lance Stevenson, 12 first quarter points for the Indiana Pacers.
That's a great way to start off, especially when you're down really their best player.
Stevenson had 18 last night. He's just 6 away from that in the first quarter. Here's Horton with the basketball. We're down to about 2 minutes to play. Horton to Martin. You don't necessarily need a 3. You just need to get a bucket. I think you got to go back to Tabbitt. Get him involved. Horton inside. Shot up. No good. Huntington North fans come to life. A stop here, and you still got a chance if they score. You don't want to foul. Down to 90 seconds. Geller. Horton defends. You can only go so long before you don't foul. The Indians are trapping now. It's a foul on Jalen Martin. I don't know how that's a foul because Martin's hands are straight up. He's moving his feet, and it's still a foul. Shot up. Good. That was Trey Williams. Ryan, if you think about it, Anthony Horton has 4 missed free throws. The Indians have 5 combined missed free throws. They would be in the lead, and with this free throw, they would still be in the lead.
Yeah, you're right.
Skeens to Horton. Horton, shot, good. 29-27, 1:03 left in the game. And right now, Anthony Horton has hit his last 3 shots. Horton has 10 points. Tabbitt Galt has 5. That's 15 of your team's 27. Jalen Martin has 6. Connor Wilson has 2. And that's all the scoring you have out of the Indians here tonight. It's 29-27. I think what you got to do is let Huntington North get across half court. Once they get across half court, foul. Because if not, they're just going to stall. And right now, they're doing a great job of it. The Indians tried to steal, I think, on their last possession. Unfortunately, a call didn't go in their favor, and Huntington North had free throws.
Yeah, they're good at wasting time. Now, with the minute 3, you wait a while and foul. And let them make the mistake, not you, if you're an Indian.
Huntington North is 5 of 7 from the free throw line tonight. Right now I don't understand why the Indians aren't trying to pressure the ball. You got to foul, I think. I think you've got to foul.
Right now.
Now they foul. Pulver going to go to the line. If he's got to miss one for it to be a one-possession game if you're an Indian. A missed free throw here, and you're in good shape. If he makes both, you've got to score instantly. And foul. Free throw up, free throw good. One more for Pulver. He missed it, and an offensive rebound. It's a travel. They call it a jump ball, and it's going to be Indian basketball, but I thought he traveled. When you fall down with the ball in your hands, I think it's a travel. I think if you have the ball, Ryan, and you continue to walk with it without dribbling, and then you fall down, I think that should be called a travel. Wouldn't you think?
Well, when you don't dribble it and you carry it for about 5 steps and 5 rollovers on the ground.
Taken away.
Good.
It's Indian basketball. Martin, 3 for the tie. Rims in and out. Martin had a good look. And he just couldn't get it to go down.
That barely missed.
He had a nice looking shot. Faked his defender, went around him. That was all but down.
That was a beautiful shot. Give props to Jalen Martin, and it just rolled out of the bucket.
Free throw up and good. It's bad news bears for the Indians now. Martin hits that 3, and the complexion of this game changes. That free throw also good. 30-second timeout, Huntington North. Ryan, my goodness. If Martin hits that 3, this place erupts. And who knows what happens because you're tied at 30. And I'm almost going to guarantee you, Huntington North's going to go for the win. If you play good defense, you go to overtime, worst case scenario.
Yeah, you have to let them make the mistakes if you're an Indian. You have to play good D, and now they get past half court, and I think you have to foul.
In this situation, you don't necessarily need a 3. You've just got to score. That's all there is to it. You've got to score. Look for the steal. If they get past half court, foul.
Exactly.
If you have the open 3, you've got to take it. Make or miss it. You're wide open. You got to shoot it.
Yeah, you don't have to make the downtown shots. You just have to get the easy buckets and the easy 2-pointer to have a chance of getting back in the game.
Here comes Skeens. Wilson, 3. He's fouled, and he's going to shoot 3 free throws. You've got to hit your free throws.
In order to have a very good chance in the game, like you said, Dalton, you have to make those free throws.
Free throws is what's going to win this game. The Indians have missed 5. It's tied if they make all 5 of those. Wilson's got to hit all 3. First one rolls off. Two more for Wilson. This one, good. You hit this one, it's a one-possession game. This one no good. Tabbitt Galt with the rebound, and he's fouled on the rebound.
Galt has been good at the line, and let's see what he can do here.
Let's see if Tabbitt can hit both. If you hit both, it's a 2-point game. You're in the driver's seat. You just got to play defense and hope for a couple of missed free throws. Free throw for Tabbitt. Good. It's a one-possession game at 3 points, 32-29. 27 seconds left. Second free throw for Tabbitt. Also good. You stop here. You get a steal here. You're in good shape. Skeens. It's off of Huntington North. You got to like the effort from Skeens. It's a foul on Wilson. I think that's his fourth. No, that's Wilson's fifth. He's fouled out. Trey Jones into the game to replace Wilson. Sawyer Stoltz is 0 of 2 at the line tonight. So the Indians have fouled the right person. This one also no good. The Indians have got a chance. It's going to be a one-possession game regardless of a make or miss.
You have to get this rebound here. If not, you have to foul instantly.
He missed
Get
it.
the rebound,
Tabbitt,
and
Galt.
now you go, and now you go.
Galt with the rebound. We're down to 20 seconds. And a timeout, Mississinewa. 32-30.
All you have to do is drive in or get the easy two-point bucket, and it's tied, and you're possibly going into overtime.
19 and a half seconds left in the game. 4 missed free throws from Sawyer Stoltz. And 2 big ones right there. That's who you foul if you're the Indians. You don't go for the win, you go for the tie.
And what is he, Dalton? 0-4 at the line?
He's 0 for 4.
And that's the perfect person to foul.
If you're the Indians, you don't go for the win unless you've got a wide open look. You got to go for the tie.
Yeah, get in, get the easy two-point basket, because if you get the easy two-point basket, it's 32-32 with 19 seconds left, and you could possibly go into overtime if you get that easy bucket.
I like going to Tabbitt Galt. You've got to go to Tabbitt Galt.
I mean,
He has played a great second half.
yeah, he's the big man in the paint, so you have to get it to him to get that easy two-point bucket.
If you foul Tabbitt, he's hit 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. He's 5 of 6 from the free throw line tonight. So even if you foul him, the chances of him hitting both is very good.
Now, with 19 seconds left, you kind of have to get things going in a hurry.
20 seconds. Trey Jones going to inbound the basketball. He gets it to Skeens. Skeens, 13 seconds on the clock.
He's got to pass. He's got to pass.
It's a turnover and a layup, and that's how the game's going to end. Fouls on Tabbitt Galt. And that's how this game's ending. That's how it's going to end. Shot up and it's good. It's a 5-point game. This game is all but over. It's good. 36-30 the final. That's going to do it for us tonight from Gas City.
And that's a wrap for Mississinewa High School. Indians 30. Huntington North 36. I'm Ryan Scott. Alongside with me is Dalton Bishop. Have a pleasant evening and good night.